Bonjour. Comment allez-vous? Moi? Oh, très bien. Oh, hello, and thank you for joining me while I practice my français. Just kidding. This is Veg with Lisa Live, and I am Lisa, and I remember just enough French to say hello and welcome to this French episode, which I will say in English. But before I do get started with the French episode, let me know that you're here. Say hi, type in the comments so I know that you can see me and that you can hear me. And today on Veg with Lisa Live, I am going to cook up some of these amazing summertime vegetables. Bonjour, Rob. In a classic Provençal French dish. That's a dish from the Provence region of France. Oh my gosh. I got my tongue all twisted trying to speak in a fancy language. I'm making ratatouille. That's what I'm trying to say. I am making ratatouille. Now, if you've got your own garden, or maybe if you've been to the farmer's market, you have probably noticed that they are just overflowing with eggplants and squashes and tomatoes and onions and basil and parsley and all of these amazing, amazing things that go together absolutely beautifully in this dish. So let me turn you down here and let's get to cooking. By the way, I know that sometimes it can be overwhelming if you think you don't really like to cook or you don't have the time to cook. There's really no right or wrong way to do this. You're just gonna buy a bunch of local seasonal things and throw them in a dish, throw them in a pot. And that, I'm gonna show you how simple it is. I've already started. I've got a big cast iron skillet that I put some extra virgin olive oil in, and I'm sauteing an onion. That, by the way, is from my mother's garden. Thank you very much, Susan. And then the next thing I'm gonna toss in, I like to do it in this order, and there is a method to my madness. The onions, we don't want to be huge and raw and crunchy, and they take longer to saute. I like to toss in the sweet bell peppers next. So you can use any color of bell pepper that you want. Just don't use a handful of jalapenos unless that's the desired effect that you want. Aren't these beautiful? There are peppers galore at the market these days. Red, yellow, orange. I love red because they're extra sweet, natural sweetness, and there is more vitamin C in a bell pepper, red bell pepper, than in an orange. Okay, so now I'm gonna toss my beautiful bell peppers in. What's next? Let's talk about this. I think this guy is technically a fruit, as is the tomato, but we're gonna call it a veg for today. This is an eggplant. You do not need to be afraid of these. I love these so, so, so much. Super simple. They come in all different shapes and sizes and colors as well, just like the peppers. If you get one of these big globe ones, which they're probably the most common, you can just chop its little hat off, toss that in your compost, and then I usually start by cutting them in half. Oh, now look, this is gorgeous. It does not have a ton of seeds. I like that in an eggplant. If they have a ton of seeds, they can kind of tend to be bitter. You may have seen recipes that call for draining and salting and all that. I never bother, and I've never had a problem. So again, this is the classic French dish, ratatouille, not to be confused with the animated feature involving a rodent. Again, just utilizing and highlighting all of summer's beautiful produce. And when you can eat local, whenever possible, it is just gonna taste even more delicious. Okay, look at this, isn't that amazing? So I'm putting my eggplant, my chopped eggplant, in with the onions that I've already sauteed. I'll do this one this way just for fun. So you can see, you don't need to be afraid of eggplants. They're super, super easy to deal with. Very prolific this time of the year. And they do indeed have some nutritional value. They're very low in calories. I hope you're still not counting calories. If you are, let's talk. And they also have a lot of antioxidants. And I'll tell you how you can tell that is look at that beautiful purple color that's in the skin. You'll notice I did not peel that. Oftentimes the antioxidants are found in the pigments, in the colorful skin of our veg, so another reason to buy organic when possible. You don't have to worry about that. Okay, let's see. I'm gonna start adding a little bit of salt so that will help release the juices. And this is sea salt, so don't freak out. Remember, we get our excess sodium in processed and convenience food, not your own home cooking usually. Next up is the zucchini. You may have zucchinis coming out your ears. Well, if you do, lucky you, and you can make a big old pot of ratatouille. This is a nice little small one. I like them this way. When they get big, they also can tend to get very bitter, and you may be better off shredding them, compost, and putting them in. Let's see, how should we do this? Let's do this like this. I like to chop each of these veggies in a slightly different shape. Let's get rid of the little tail because I just think that's kind of fun. So I'm going to chop my zucchini into these pretty little half moon shapes. Isn't that good? Aren't they awesome? Yeah, and I'm just tossing everything in as I go. So far, olive oil, onions, bell peppers, you can use any color that you want. Eggplant, I used a big globe eggplant. Oh, zucchini, look at that. Can you hear it sizzling away? I added a little bit of salt to get the cooking process going. Now I'm going to add my garlic. Now this dish can handle a lot of garlic. So Emily, you can go crazy. It smells amazing. Now you might be wondering, why didn't you put that garlic in with the onions and the olive oil? It's so easy to burn, and I do it all the time. So now I just put it in a little bit later, and it's going to be absolutely fantastic. Okay, that is all cooking, and we're getting down to business here. Oh, look at these beautiful, beautiful tomatoes. I think this is a Purple Cherokee variety of heirloom tomatoes that I got at my local farmer's market, the River Arts District Market here in Asheville. I've already chopped them up, and I've left all the juices and the seeds because I want that. Basically, ratatouille is like a stew, really. It's a gorgeous seasonal stew. So I'm going to toss all those in. Okay, let's get this over here so you can see it. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Now, here we go. I like to add just a little bit of extra liquid to get the party started. And if you have some tomato juice, I know my mom makes her own tomato juice from her tomatoes. That would be perfect in this. I just tossed in a little veggie broth that I had. Honestly, it was the leftover liquid from steaming green beans. I always save that stuff and toss it in. You could use water. Yeah. So, that is really, I think, maybe a little freshly ground black pepper and a teeny weeny little pinch of crushed red chili. Now I'm going easy on those for now for two reasons. One, this is a French dish, and I think they're a little more subtle with their flavorings. And two, I'm going to finish it off with my friend Sabrina, the spice, which is chili crisp and chili oil, and I love that so much. Okay, let me show you. I've already set that aside, and I already made one for the show. Voila, voila. Okay, so the only thing you might notice about this is when it cooks down, it's not exactly the most beautiful. The eggplants turn kind of brown and the tomatoes lose their color, but do not let that fool you. It is going to be absolutely amazing, I assure you. Okay, I'm going to finish this off with just a little black splash, just a teeny splash of balsamic vinegar, and then a whole bunch of chopped basil. Look at that, out of my garden. So one of the reasons I love this dish is that it does highlight the seasonal local produce, and there is a wide variety of vegetables and plants in here. Let's see, we've got onions and bell peppers, zucchini, eggplant, tomatoes. Why not? Let's count the basil as well. Garlic, that is 7 varieties of plants. And remember, you do not have to be a vegan or even a vegetarian if you don't want to. But for good health, you have to eat a variety of plants to get fiber for a healthy gut. So my gosh, people ask me all the time, I don't know what to eat. Eat a whole bunch of different kinds of plants and you're going to be good to go, and you can add whatever you want to it. like I said, I've said before, we're pretty vegan in this house, but you know what? If you're not, don't sweat it. Have this with your grilled chicken or your grilled salmon. Okay, I'm gonna plate this up. Ratatouille is fantastic on pasta, on any kind of whole grain. The French might wrap it in a crepe. I'm gonna put it on some quinoa. And I couldn't resist. I went out to pick the basil and I had these beautiful edible nasturtiums in my garden. They're nice and peppery. A little bit of extra fresh basil on the top. And then as promised, I am just addicted to Sabrina's chili crisp. You could use a teeny little drizzle if you like, chili crisp, chili oil. And again, don't go crazy because the flavors of this are really subtle. And we want to taste all those different layers of this seasonal veg. Okay, let's tuck in here and give this a taste. Fluffy quinoa. Ooh la la. Remember, this is supposed to be a stewy type of thing, so your veggies should be nice and soft and squishy and mushy and melty and absolutely delicious. Ratatouille, what a wonderful way to get your variety of plants, to get your fiber, to get all those beautiful, colorful antioxidants, to enjoy summer's beautiful bounty of produce. Thank you for joining me for Veg with Lisa Live. I'm going to dig in here.